All right, all right, all right. Welcome to this episode of Warrior Week, Parables from the Pit. Myself and King Lerrod Smalls are here for an epic conversation. We are sitting in the studio, and we're not wearing we're not wearing our T-shirt, man.
Yeah, no shirt.
So we're gonna get into that and why. But first, welcome.
I'm excited to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
So we're gonna get into today's episode, Parables from the Pit. The story of a black man from the pit.
That's who you are!
All right, man. So we're gonna be rolling a little bit differently today. We're gonna go straight to the fucking point, like out of the gate, and we're gonna get into this conversation of black, white, race. Oh, you know, the white man got this. Oh no, the black guys hang out like that. Oh, we got that. We got this. You know what? All of it is fucking true.
Yeah,
Like most people say, no, you know, we need to get better at this. I say, let's acknowledge the fucking truth.
Yeah.
There is a fucking separation. There is no doubt. There is no doubt that there's a separation, but obvious fucking color. There is white, and then there is black. Like, to think that it's the same, it's to be fucking foolish. That's what I say. And we're going to break this down. We're going to break this down with you today so that we're clear where we stand.
Let's do it.
If you're standing in black, well, you standing in black. If I'm standing in hairy motherfucker from the Middle East, well, I'm standing in a hairy motherfucker from the Middle East. The point is, there is a merger that happens. There is a merger that happens between my skin, your skin, my thoughts, my way of thinking, your thoughts, your way of thinking, your culture, my culture. And that point of merger is when our hearts shake hands. And when we realize, motherfucker, we got the same beat. Our heart is dancing to the same beat. And on the outside, and even on the inside, as we think, as we structure, as we operate, we may be very differently. But the day that we joined our heart, the day that this merger point happened, that's the pivoting point between you and I becoming one.
That's critical. I love it. Oh, I love it. I'm so glad to be here. Sam, this is awesome. I'm ready to have a great conversation. First thing I want to lead off with is this. Is when I was a kid, we went to, they had like an exchange program where they took these white kids that were in a predominantly white school and brought them over to my elementary school. And there was like a switch for the day, right?
Yeah.
So they took them from Mahalia Jackson. No, I was in Walter Weaver, and they took the kids from Mark Twain.
Yeah.
And the news came out. It was a thing. And something that I said there, rung true. And I was on the news for saying it. I was like, if you have a box of crayons and they're all the same color, it would be boring.
Yeah.
It would be terrible. Like if you had somebody handed a kid a box of crayons and they were all freaking yellow.
Yeah.
The fuck, who would want that?
Yeah.
What makes a box of crayons so fucking awesome is the fact that there's lots of different colors in there.
Correct.
That's what this world is about. But the problem is that if you got one person who's got the whole box and they only want to use a certain freaking color, right? Or they want to use one type of thing here and not explore, not appreciate all of the freaking colors. And it leads to some shit that we got to deal with. I'm ready to deal with it, though.
Okay. Well, dude, like it's not the crayon box that is a problem. Because guess what? The crayon box is used most of the time by kids. Kids don't give a fuck about the colors. They just want to play.
Right.
They just want to play around with the crayons. The problem is the white man. The problem is the black male of 2018. Because both the white man and the black male of 2018 have their ass up their fucking head. Like this is a problem of masculinity. This is not a problem of this is a problem of fucking leadership. Like
Okay.
The problem is the following. The conversation you and I are having today, right? Mm-hmm. This merger point that you and I discovered 4 years and a half ago. We teach to our kids, and that's beautiful. But if I would arrive at this 20 years ago, I would have 20 years of teaching to give to my son, my kids, my cousins.
Right.
And the point is, it's never too late, but much is given to those that are awakened.
Right.
So much is expected. Not everybody is awakened.
Right.
I wasn't awakened 4 years ago. I was asleep.
Right.
I was asleep in this world of just being political and polite. I had no fucking principles. I had no motherfucking principle. They would tell me what to do. I would just follow it. The culture would say do that. I would do it. The religion would say do that. I would do it. The people in my neighborhood would say you should do that. I would do it.
Right.
The teachers at school would say this to my son. I would accept it. No principle. Some values. Be honest. Be a nice guy. Don't hurt people. Okay. Some bylaw citizen values, right? As a citizen of United States, some values. As a citizen of the world, some values. All politics.
Well, there's some fucking rules of the heart. There's rules of the heart that you just got to pay attention to.
Yep.
And once you start being real clear about what the rules of the heart are, right? Like, what is it that makes sense? What feels good to me? When something feels good to me, I fucking do it.
Yep.
And this conversation is like, I'm around people who are uncomfortable just because they're not of the same freaking conversation. Whether you black or white really don't matter.
No.
Like, if you're in a different conversation, if you're talking about us chasing a bunch of fucking girls around, or us doing drugs or doing something that is not in my space right now.
Yep.
Because, I mean, that was a space for me. There was a space for that,
Yep.
you know? But that's not my space now. We can't hang out. It don't matter what color you are, whatever it is. And especially to my black brothers that are listening to this, like, they're going to have to get this conversation that I'm having, is that I had to change who I was in order to even be in this space right here.
Yep.
Because it took me a whole year to actually step through the gates of Warrior before me and you even had our conversation.
True.
Because I stood on the fringe. I was on the outside because I didn't feel like it was for me.
Because of your own limitations.
It was my own shit. It was my own programming. Nobody had to intentionally push the button on it. I developed this program since I was a kid around the conversations and the people that I've been around and the movies and the TV I watched. So I programmed myself.
True.
And I'm the one that had to deprogram myself.
True.
But I needed a code. And that's what Warrior did for me. Warrior gave me the freaking black book that my dad should have given me. Like the freaking rules of, hey, this is the engagement of a man. This is what a fucking man looks like. He looks like this. This is in this box.
Yeah.
You know, because the frame that I had, the image I had of what a man should be
Yeah.
is what guided me to be what I was.
True.
And then when I look back on it and I wasn't proud of it, I said, well, shit, I'm not proud of that, man. I'm like, well, damn.
So let's go back. Let's go back to that
Okay.
exact moment of you holding a frame in your hand in your basement that had the picture of what you programmed yourself to be most of your life. You
The
were
suit?
what, 37, 38?
Yeah. That's right.
At that time-
38 maybe?
At that last year. What do you mean maybe?
Nah, no, it wasn't last year. Was it last year or 2 years ago?
It was a year and a half ago.
Year and a half ago. So I was 40. I was just turned 40. I'm 42 now.
So why you say 38, man?
I thought you were talking about like when I first.
I know you lost some weight and shit. Like you look good, but you don't gain age.
I see that black don't crack. The black doesn't crack.
All right, okay. So you was 40.
Yeah, I was 40. 2 years ago.
2
Yep.
years ago.
In the basement.
You just joined the Warrior Book program, which is an online program we had. So you were in the mix. It was couple of weeks, right? Couple of weeks you were in the mix, in the conversations.
I was running up.
And you were live on the network, and you had a picture of the picture of you, whoever you program most of your life. And I've asked you to do something, and you was like, what the fuck? But when that happened, talk to us about what happened.
Okay.
And ever since that, like, what did that assignment, or if you want that evolution that was assigned to you, what did that change for you, man, and your family?
What it did is it shattered an image. I had a physical representation of me actually shattering something that I had created for myself.
Yep.
So it was an actual, it was a stand-up is really what it was. It's like on pull-up stand-ups of me wearing a suit when I was in network marketing.
Yeah.
And I don't want to trash network marketers, right? For everybody who's listening, you know, if that's your thing and you build yourself up and you're doing it with integrity and honesty, you got a fucking business, right? But I really wasn't operating with integrity within the business.
Yeah.
I was driving a car that I really couldn't afford. I was sharing information that I really didn't believe in. There was a lot of shit going on behind it. So I had built up this persona that really was not an authentic self.
Yeah.
And by going down in that fucking basement with that little hammer and smashing that, like I saw myself actually smashing this shit on live. it broke something for me. And I was like, yo, I don't want to be that guy.
So
wanna be
tell
that
them,
guy.
because they don't know. Tell them what happened. What was the assignment, and obviously what got triggered after that.
Okay, so the assignment was to find something that was not you, something that represented something that was holding you back, right? Something this is fucking holding you back. Some guys, there was beautiful things. People, they got into their cigarettes, they got their bottle, they smashed different things, they drove over their truck. There was lots of great representations of people doing things in an experience so that they could actually attach to it, because that's what has to happen, right? So my experience was, yo, listen, I am looking at an image of who I do not want to be, and I don't want to be living this lie anymore.
Yeah.
So I had to actually smash the lie.
Your own picture.
My own picture.
In a suit.
Yeah, that's it. And after that, if you watch my Facebook, all you saw after that was fucking T-shirts.
Yeah.
Like the T-shirts.
Yeah,
came
you
out.
changed. Yeah, you changed from some, and then what happened ever since?
Man, and I'm not gonna tear up in this fucking conversation. I'm gonna keep it straight.
Oh, you
I'll
can
tell
tear
you
up.
this. My whole life changed, man.
Yeah.
Like Sam, like I'm sitting across from you, man.
Yeah.
You looked in my eyes,
Yeah.
where I was, man.
Yeah.
I'm 30 pounds lighter right now. You know what I'm saying? Like the journey that I started changed everything, not just for my life, for my entire family's life going forward.
Yeah.
My children look at me in a way that they have never looked at me that way. I've created a conversation in my house. There's an open dialogue for us to be real and to be honest about the things that are going on. And my son now, he looks at me like a fucking hero.
Yeah.
Like, and it didn't happen for all those guys that think that shit happens overnight, man. That it didn't happen overnight.
No.
It was evolution after evolution. And the thing about Warrior that was so powerful is that each one built on each other. It was like fucking evolutions are like bricks.
Yeah.
And it was brick by brick building this freaking creation that I was. And that was me. I was building this freaking thing that's sitting here now capable of having this conversation. I did not have the capacity to wield this conversation with you.
We would have gone to we would have gone to comedy.
Yeah.
2 years ago, we would have gone to like some bullshit conversation. And today we're sticking on the matter. And the matter is, the man that is sitting here is the man that was forged by you. Like literally, you had to smash the stories and say, I'm going to build from scratch. And I happen to have my wife and my kids next to me. And I happen to have God behind me, so I got everything that I need. Oh, and by the way, there's this group of guys called Warrior. They guide me, they help each other. I like that. Black and white faint away from that.
It did.
It faint away. It doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. The mission is fucking clear. Today you're sitting here leading black men
That's a fact.
into the conversation of what you experience. That's all. Like, you was going to be on the stage and you was going to be talking about, hey, let me tell you a fucking story. What happened to me? I took a frame and I smashed it because it didn't represent me. And it's not that I hated that person. It's because I got to a point where I say, I'm going to forge me. I'm going to build me. And I'm going to take some support because I know I can't do it alone. Because most of my life, I tried to do this alone. I backpacked everything in my back. I put 2 fucking mountains on my back only to realize that those mountains aren't to be in my backpack. They're supposed to be climbed, not for me to fucking carry them.
That's right.
And with that in mind, things change. You started actually climbing the mountains, step by step. And you got to the first peak. And you're like, all right, this is what I did. I'm proud to be here. Then you look at the next summit and say, all right, that's where I'm hitting. And then you went on again. And all you did was what? One step at a time. Like you say, one evolution at a time. One decision at a time. One act of courage at a time. You built the fucking hero that's sitting here, man. 30 pounds lighter or heavier, it doesn't fucking matter. You built the hero sitting here. You built the superhero for your kids. You built the king for your queen. You built that. And it's not that he was never there. He was just forsaken. There was an awakening that took place in you, and from that point on, you took it to where you wanted to go, not where everybody else wanted. So that becomes your story, man. That's why you got all these guys coming into your program. You got the Black Warrior Rising program coming up soon. You got all these guys coming into, man, fuck, even KRS-One is coming down to see you.
Hell yeah.
Like, they're coming because the story is true. And the truth is like a magnet. It's attracting people because they want to follow the same example in order to build themselves, not to build you.
Yeah.
You is just a fucking reference for them to build themselves. But you is the closest reference to them that they have. Same color of skin, same struggles in life. Now they connect with you. That's the difference between merging hearts. Because the mission becomes the same. That's why we're setting fucking short like to say, yeah, fuck yeah, man. You're black, I'm white, I'm brown, whatever. You want to label this shit? Yeah, we're different. But when the mission becomes the same, game fucking over.
Damn right.
Nothing exists. There is no indifference. There is only love. When the mission is one, there is only love.
I love that shit. That should be a t-shirt.
Yeah, you should make that in the back of the... Yeah, make that in the back of the... Yeah, it's right in the back. When the mission is one...
It's only love.
Is only love. The rise of Black Warrior.
I love that shit.
So hey, talk to us about your event coming up, and the amount of work that is required to put that up, and to help and the cause.
Okay, so what I'm out to cause here, and definitely this thing is going to be much bigger than me, and that's so amazing about when you build something that matters. When you build something that matters, like this freaking like Warrior, like beyond Garrett at this point, it's going to be beyond Sam at this point.
Yeah,
like it's Warrior at this point.
Yeah.
And this thing has to be beyond me. It is about causing the conversation of a black man so that he would see himself as a true king.
Yeah,
he would see himself not being distracted by all of the things that even are true.
Yeah.
Like, you started this conversation so powerfully. To ignore the fact that there is racial injustice and that there is mass incarceration and there are all these things, that would be fucking naive.
Yes.
To say it doesn't happen, that's, hey, now you're just lying.
Yeah.
But the truth is you don't got to focus on it.
Correct.
And here's another thing. The onion is too deep. All of the problems, trying to solve the problems is too deep, man. It's like it's a problem that's wrapped in a problem. It's a question wrapped in an enigma. But if you work with the man,
yeah.
If a man finds power in himself and he takes control of his family,
yeah,
and he's leading his sons and he's there with his daughters. See, his daughter will not grow up to be fooling around with men that are crazy and lascivious if the father is a daddy.
Yeah.
See, there's a difference between the father and the daddy.
Yeah.
See, a father's mechanical. It's like, I just gave birth. It's just sperm.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
A sperm donor. But a daddy is by choice. It's
Correct.
an emotional connection when you pour into him. And when I became a daddy and I stopped being a father, see, I was a father. I was paying. I was spending money. When I got involved and I went to WarriorCon and I realized that there was a difference.
Yeah.
That's what I have to share with these men.
Yes.
These men have to see that they're not just fathers. They have to be daddies.
Yes.
They can't be married. No, you got to be a husband.
Correct.
You follow? There's a huge difference there.
Yeah.
And when I showed that difference in my life, I'm not going to just be up there telling them about it. No. You got to see it in my life.
Yeah.
And you see the transformation, what happened, the fact that, I took on huge challenges that I totally didn't believe was possible.
Correct.
With men that I never had a relationship with before.
True.
That didn't look like me at all.
Yep.
But when you pulled it back, we had the same fucking problems.
True.
We were dealing with the same things. And the men, these black men, they're going to work with men that don't look like them, and they feel like it's a difference. But if you really went across the freaking hall and you talked to that man heart to heart and you didn't lie.
Yes.
And he didn't lie back.
Yes.
In that same office, you would find that person who seemed different across the fucking hall that you didn't never communicate with, he's just like you. He's dealing with the same shit as you.
True.
You know what I mean?
True.
So that's where we have to be. We can solve the problems in our communities. Hey, listen, man, if you're being a daddy, your sons will not be out on the corner to be picked up by the police and have those issues happen, as much. These things, but, if you're in there and if you're a husband, if you're a man, let's say you're just a man, and you extend your circle of daddyhood,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Into your neighbor. There may be a son, or there may be a boy that doesn't have a father.
Yeah.
You can extend that circle out
Yes.
to support and be a daddy to a child that's not even yours because you are a man, because you are a king, and you extend your kingdom out into the rest of your community. And when we do that, hey man, we solve our own problems.
Yes.
We need anybody to solve our
The
problems.
problem is most men are too busy digging into history. Like, this happened on this date, therefore we are this people. That happened on this date, and this happened. It like you said, the onion is too deep. You can never stop. You can never solve the whole fucking puzzle because it just goes years and 100 years and 1,000 years.
400 years.
5,000 years, man.
Yeah, I hear you.
It just goes back. It just goes back and back and back. And this back and forth, it's creating these bubbles and separations in the past and then saying, we're going to bring that shit and put it into the future. We're going to put it into the now. All that it takes is what? Is just to be here now and do what you said, which is, hey, man, I want to be a fucking daddy. And by me being a daddy, I got a brother and I got a cousin and I got a neighbor that I can have daddy conversation with. And if those motherfuckers don't want to have daddy conversations with me, well, fuck, I'll find someone that'll have a daddy conversation with me.
That's a fact.
And if those guys eventually come back with me and say, you know, bro, the daddy conversation you had with me, I didn't quite get it last year, but it kind of coming into my mind right now.
And it's making sense.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
We can sit down and talk.
I got to talk about this. This was an evolution that changed me.
Yeah.
I want to give you this. This is an evolution that you did
Yeah.
that changed me, right? And it was the light. And I did this with some brothers back home. The small tea light.
Yeah.
And this, for black men that are listening right now, I don't know where you are, whatever. I want you to imagine this right now. Imagine that you're in a room and there's hundreds of men of all colors, but one man holds up a very small tea light.
Yeah.
Now, in a room of 500 people in one tea light, man, that shit is like a little speck. Nobody even sees it. But when a man across the room sees that one tea light and he holds up his light,
Yeah.
then a man across from him sees a tea light and he holds up his light.
Yeah.
Before you know it, all these little tea lights turn into a freaking big light in
Yeah.
the room. So I'm saying this to men that, just like Sam, you were just saying, they're not all going to come around right away.
Nah.
And the conversation is not going to hit them all at the same time. But if you keep holding up your fucking light,
Yeah.
you just keep holding up your light of what you believe and standing on that. Don't be influenced when somebody else comes around with a conversation that's not about what you're about. You don't laugh it off. Like, if I'm in a room and a man brings up a joke about something that I don't think is funny or inappropriate about women or children or whatever it is, hey, I'm not laughing at that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go to comedy on that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna hold a frame of being solid about what I believe in. Then another man would see that,
Yes.
and then he'll hold his.
And the reality is, our desire changes as we evolve in this daddyhood, husbandhood, as in this manhood. Our desire changes. There are desires for 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds that are different from desires of a 40-year-old. Right. But there is also fucking limits that are the same. The limits remain the same for a 19 and a 20. Like, there is a limit where 19, 20, 40, 60, there's a limit when you cross, you know that you have crossed.
Yeah, that's right.
You know that you're in territories that shit is fucked up. Like, you know that, whether you're 19 or fucking 29 or 39 or 49. And so the more we can have these conversations, not about desires, but really about the limits. Like, bro, it's not like you're not free. Of course you're fucking free, at least in this country. Right. Of course you're free. But when you pass that limit, you find yourself in territories that's fucking blacked out. There's not one single motherfucker that's holding a tea light in there. That's the dark side.
That's it.
And you's alone in the dark side, bro. And you know what? There is no pleasure on the dark side. It's a false lift. Right. Like, what you're seeking is not seeking you there. So why the fuck would you even cross the line? And the line could be anything relative to anyone's life. But there is a line that is fucking common to all of us. You don't take another man's fucking life.
Right. There's laws of the heart. Like,
the laws of fucking humanity has nothing to do with, like, the laws of freedom. Yeah. Like, motherfucker, your freedom is given to you by birth. Right. It's a birth identity. And it comes with fucking limits, which says don't take another man's freedom to breathe. Don't take another man's to love. Don't take another man's freedom to be. And see, we're so not aware of this shit. We are so in the sleep mode and just influenced by totally a different route that somebody else paved and says fucking walk on it.
Now I want to say something too, and this is a real story. I want to give this conversation here. Is magic? You know, the basis behind all magic is a distraction.
Yeah,
right? It's like, you know, it's like I'm showing you this, but I'm really doing this on the side.
Yeah,
right?
correct.
That's magic. So what I see happening, especially in the black community and black men, are distracted. This in 2018, we can't afford to be distracted by the past.
Nah.
We can't afford to be distracted by the shit that's going on in the media. They making fucking money. They making so much money when they put out this negative news because we spend time paying attention to it. Is it happening? Yes. And the people who are called, if you're calling in your heart is to stand up for rights, and then that's what you do. You go out and do that. But you don't spend your time, your precious time, thinking about it and talking shit about it, about just opinions. There's people having barbershop conversation about opinions, but they're not actually doing something.
It feeds their ego.
That's it.
It's the debate.
I got all this information about
and
this.
I'm right.
Yeah.
And I'm right.
And I'm not wrong.
And then so what?
It doesn't do anything.
Let's talk about magic. What happens to magic?
Right. So this magic, and that's what it's not this good magic, right? The fun that makes kids laugh.
Yeah.
Then there's the dark magic.
Yeah.
And that's what this is. This conversation is about the dark magic.
That's right.
This dark magic that is here to distract you. When you spending time scrolling through, if you got somebody in your timeline, this is for everybody on social media, if you know that there's somebody in your timeline that's putting up a bunch of shit that's not productive, you got to remove them.
Yeah.
You got to take them out of your timeline. If you're a man and you know that you're distracted by women that are doing, in skimpy clothes, just remove them from your timeline. Don't allow that type of magic.
Yeah, it's simple steps when you think about current reality. But the bottom line is that there is dark magic.
It is.
It's dark magic, and then you got magic that is used for pleasure, kids, and entertainment. But the dark magic is everywhere. It is in environments that are associated to dark magic.
That's right.
And when you find yourself in those environments, just a little sense of awareness, just a little bit of awareness can actually give you the permission to get the fuck out.
That's right.
Most people don't have that awareness. And so they continue being operated and distracted in those environments. But the point is the following, that at each given time in a man's life, there is an awareness that is caused by an incident, by another man coming into his life, by time. And so I was in that dark magic too.
Yeah.
And like 4.5 years ago, Warrior came to my life, and it gave me a sense of awareness. From there, I just avoid the dark magic spots. Do I know about them? Fuck yeah, I know about them. I know exactly where they are. I know the exact fucking locations. I know the exact timeline they are. I know exactly who's hanging out there. And I know there's a fucking invitation on the table every single fucking day.
Waiting for you.
But I got to build myself a system to avoid the dark corners, the dark magic places. So as long as I stay in the middle of the street under the light, I'm fine. As soon as I go in the corner of the street, I know they're waiting for me, man. Dark magic, bad habits. Call them bad habits. They're always waiting for you in the fucking corner. So what do we do now? We don't hang out in the corners anymore. That's as simple as that.
That's it.
Because we get pulled into it too.
Influence.
Like what you can do in the dark magic zone, I can do. Like you ain't some crazy motherfucker because you're hanging in the dark magic zone. The magic is not yours, motherfucker. The magic belongs to the dark side. And guess what? If I choose to go to the dark side too, I'll be fucking magical too, because the magic is gonna possess me too. Same thing for you.
Hell yeah.
So you're not fucking tougher. You're not stronger. You're not badass because you're in a dark magic. You're a fool because you're asleep. I was that fool. I'm not anymore. I know about fools. I know about the spots. I can tell you all about the spots. You can tell me all about them fucking spots. But it's not our spots anymore, man.
No.
That's the difference today.
That's the difference.
And that's the conversation that's going to happen on that stage. Where they're going to say, hey, man, the spots are there, bro. You knows the spots.
They're not going nowhere.
You all motherfuckers, you knows the spots. But what you going to choose today? 2 days. 2 days to make an absolute commitment that your ass is not going to hang out at those spots. Just like that. And suddenly, there is so much to do now. Oh, shit, in the middle of the street, there's a lot to do here, man.
Right.
Plus, there's a lot of good... Well, fuck, I never stopped here. Never.
Right. Yeah, man. Listen, man, this conversation is, it's pulling on my heart. It's really pulling on my heart. Years ago when I first heard Garrett on stage talking about The Voice.
Yeah.
I really, that's one of those conversations you're like, what is he about? Where's he going with that? The Voice.
Yes,
You know what I'm
yes,
saying?
yeah,
It's religious. Like, what kind of shit is he up to? And I never really got it, at first. I can say never, but I didn't get it at first.
Yeah.
But when I stopped associating in the areas where the dark magic was, when I stopped being distracted by the bullshit, when I stopped sedating. See, you drink a little bit, you hang out a little bit. I mean, okay, maybe you do. But whenever you're in that influence, whenever you're being distracted, you can't hear the voice.
Correct.
You cannot hear it. And soon as you're in a vein of positivity and you see your life growing, for some reason it gets magnified. This voice that he was talking about that came into me, every single one of us has access to this tone, this voice that will tell us what it is that we should be doing.
Correct.
What should we be acting on? The things that we are passionate about. And as I have become more in tune with the things that have been giving me power, the voice is so clear.
Yes.
And now I am able to take immediate actions. Things that was taking me months is taking me days to do.
Yes.
Because I'm connected to a superpower. It's like I got a mentor in my head and
Yes.
in my heart that's guiding me.
And I'm gonna make an observation here. I've been to a few black churches and I've been to a few black gatherings, and man, there is beautiful fucking words being spoken. Like there, you gotta give it fucking credit that, hey man, the black man speaks well. You got okay.
Well,
Hold on. Let's call it as it is, right? Let's call it as it. No, fuck that. Obama. Let's talk. Like people say, Obama this, Obama that, President Obama this. Look, we're not gonna get to the
political side.
Political side.
But he's still an amazing speaker.
Because I don't know shit about political, right?
Okay.
So because I'm not a political guy. I'm a guy of principle. That's what I decided 4 years and a half ago, right? But the fact is, when that motherfucker was on TV,
yeah, you listen.
For an hour, I was just in tune to what he was saying. It didn't matter what the fuck he was saying. Yeah. Like there was black magic, not dark magic, black magic in a way. Black magic.
Black magic.
You better fucking put that on the t-shirt too.
Like that. Not the dark magic, the black magic.
But there was that magical pulling in his way of talking, which I'm talking about my personal experience that I witnessed at a couple of other churches when I was invited and to just listen at gatherings, and like there is so much of the voice present in these communities. So much. Even if you look at the hip hop, even if you look at rap, even if you look at like all that industry, right? There is so much of the voice present in what the guys are rapping about, what they're saying. It's the voice. It's the message.
That's why they're pulling. And I don't want us to skip over that. That was so key, right?
Man.
That's so powerful. I don't want to skip it. When there's a voice like that, it attracts people.
It does.
You don't even know why they're attracted. Like, you don't even know why I'm attracted to listening to that, because there's a voice there that's connected. But if you use it for something that's not good,
yes,
now you've contorted it. It's the dark magic.
Correct.
Follow what I'm saying?
Correct.
When you use that same power, that same gravity.
Just come back on fucking hip hop, right?
Right.
And the talent that is required to rap or
put
to
those words together.
put those and then just like Like, it's just not, it's not that you just have a nice voice. You got to have rhythm and you got to have, like, passion behind it.
Right.
Like, there is a lot of energy.
That goes into
right?
it.
So there's the voice. There's the voice. It comes through them. It doesn't come from them. It's not from them.
Right.
I was just listening coming down here to a song. I forgot who the artist is, but it says it's all hustle, no luck. You maybe know the artist. I don't know who the fuck that is. But in the lyrics, in the conversations, at one point it's like all I wanted was the hoes, the money, and this and that. But I mean, if you go above and beyond that language, there is a message there that's being communicated. So you can be the guy that's going to get stuck on, he's saying ho, he's saying fuck, he's saying alcohol, he's saying drugs, he's saying guns and this and that. I'm not a fucking drug dealer, so I don't fucking listen to. You can be that guy. You can be that anal guy that analyzes with your fucking anal, right? You anal. Or you can be the guy that is in tune to the voice and you're just listening to what this motherfucker has to say because it's coming through them.
And sometimes if you really listen to that, you can hear the pain of a man reporting what's happening in his life.
Reporting is the key word.
It is. He's singing and he's reporting. The voice is talking through him. He's reporting what he's seeing in his life. Some of the wants that he has. You can see even some of the scarcity.
He is reporting. Like just you and I are reporting too.
Yeah, right now. This is a
we
fucking report.
is broadcasting, man. We are broadcasting.
Report. Yeah.
We have a language that may be liked by some, maybe not liked by many. They have a language, but what is the message? The message is simple today, is that you and I find a pivoting point, and that's where our heart shaked hand. And in that place, we were on a one mission. That's why it doesn't matter. Black, white, it really doesn't matter. For the rest of our lives, it doesn't matter. For the next 50 to 60 years, for your family and my family, as we build and as we move forward, we are on the same mission. Never again are we seeing each other as black and white and this and that. The fact is that, yes, your skin is black and my skin is white or whatever, brown. That's the fact. But we are not on that comparison wavelength.
Yeah. That's not important. There's no reason to spend energy focusing there when we have a fucking common mission.
And the mission has to be one, man. Yeah. Just a mission. Woo! And when you know there's a guy on the same mission than you, dude, like there is love there, because there's no indifference. When there is love, indifference goes away. Right. And so as indifference exists, there cannot be love.
That's right. And sharing. I want to say this too. Something that I learned, and I want to give you a lot of freaking credit. I know you don't like to be patted on the back, Sam. You don't.
Yeah,
right.
Pat me today, right? Like, yeah.
I got to give you.
Yeah.
Somebody shared this with me years ago. He said that sharing is love. And whenever there is no sharing, there's no love. And he gave me the example, like when you meet a girl for the first time, you start telling her everything. You spend a lot of time. You're always talking to them on the phone about whatever. You don't even know, but you're always sharing.
Yes.
As soon as you stop that sharing and you start talking, that's when you got the girl. Maybe y'all got into a relationship. You've been married for a few years. You don't come home. You don't talk to her so much. There's less sharing. Sharing is a fucking meter. Yes. It is a real meter for where the love is.
Yes, yes.
Yo, you share.
Yes.
Brother. You are a freaking sharer.
Yes.
Like this podcast, what you do at Warrior Week, what you do in the community. I mean, you are a sharer. And that is based on love. And love will transcend any relationship. Any man that sits in this seat, no matter what his color is.
Yes.
And you share. You're sharing his story and you're sharing your view of the story.
Yes.
That is love.
Yes.
And I honor you for that. And
I appreciate that. I think that's a good point. And if all of us are sharers, right? We share with our kids, we share with our wives, we share with our friends, we share with our homies, we share with jailmate, whatever the fuck we at, man. In a present nowhere, there is a point in your life, you and I and all you listening, that at one point you motherfuckers shared.
Yeah.
But what makes us stop sharing?
That's when the love stops, man.
Like most of it is self-made stories. Yeah. That I'm not good enough to share. Nobody's gonna listen to me. That they're gonna point a finger at me. That no matter how much I share, what's the point? Right. What's the point? A bunch of fucking idiots. So what's the point? What's the point? What's the point? So like we allow this external force to kill that light. Because what that light is you turn around, is that you share light. And the room is brighter. It's the tea light story, man.
Tea light story.
The room is brighter as people start to sharing their light.
Even if it's a small fucking light.
But the point, the light is this. The light is your truth. You share it.
Yeah.
Like you share the truth. That's it. Well, you say, well, fuck, Obama that motherfucker's good. Yeah. He's good. He'll get me every time if he catches me. I never watch TV. But if that motherfucker's there, I'm listening. Because he's good. Irregardless of what the fuck he did or not did. I know he did some things were fucked up. And I did some things that are good. I'm not really into it. But the things that are fucked up, I know. But I don't want to really judge him because I kind of like when he talks. So my mind goes into these two places that I want to fucking judge him for some of the shit he did. But then on the other side, it's like, I kind of like that guy, man, when he talks. But that's the truth that I'm sharing. Yeah. I'm just being like, I'm just sharing as a kid right now, right? Yeah. But in that simplicity, there are no lies. Yeah. I'm not pretending that I don't like him or like him. I'm telling my version of experience with him. Right. And so what if that was the pattern? What if that was the way? And small and, yeah, you know, we require rules and structure as country, as organization. Like, there is that structure that is always required. But within that structure, we can cultivate, man. We got the art. They got the structure, it's beautiful, fine. But we got the art. They built this high-rise, 50 stores. In each store, we can have what? We can have a dance club with a different music. Yeah. We put the art there.
And the art's where the love is.
Yeah, man.
That's where the love is.
The structure is fine.
Yeah.
You know, we're not here to debate against any structure. Structure has always been good for growth, for organizing. That's why this country is the number one. That's why this country is the number one country in the world right now. Right. Massively because of structure and service and infrastructure. That makes a massive amount of fucking difference. Yeah, second country that's like this, following, it's Canada. Like you talk about North America from infrastructure and service, unfucking beatable. Travel the world and you'll compare. Fuck no, man. Highways, like name it, man. Just fucking name it. We're talking about infrastructure. Right. And we got 375 million people living in this infrastructure. But what if we would all start creating a small dance floor and we would put our art there with massive amount of respect for our infrastructure? Yeah. We got the biggest and the strongest military force in the world. That's structure. We got infrastructure. We got services. We're strong. On the inside, we need to get stronger. Lots of judgment happening on the inside, man.
Yeah, man.
That does what? Takes away our shares.
Yeah, takes away the shares. And soon as we allow that dark magic to distract us and stop fucking sharing, soon as you spending time and energy on something that's not growing you and making you better, shit, then you're losing.
Dark magic doesn't require infrastructure, doesn't require service. That motherfucker that motherfucker is everywhere.
Anywhere.
At that point, you're completely disconnected from who you are and what you have. Your gratitude is gone when you're dark magic.
Yeah.
It's replaced by some false hope.
Yeah, man.
Nothing is yours to have in dark magic.
No. Nah.
So, hey, dude, this was good.
This was good, man.
It was long. You know, we talked about you being in the studio and talking about this shit, like putting our heart out. Last time, I think Kelly Curtis was here. And we did talk about that. If you want to go back and watch the podcast that I had with Kelly Curtis, and we talked about the black man, right? But this time we just took it about, a little bit deeper, a little bit about like what's real for us and what matters. And what mattered is when what we created here together is like, so as long as the mission is one, love is there, bro.
As long as the mission
and that overwrites everything else. Any other difference that may exist. Because indifference just vanishes, and now there's only love.
Only love.
If you're indifferent of something, you cannot claim love for it. Guaranteed.
Yeah. You got to take a side. You got to take a side. You know, and I want to say this to all men listening, but and this is my mission. I want everybody to be clear about what my mission is. When we're having a conversation about Warrior and the code and what we stand for here at Warrior, that works for any man, no matter what color you are, what shade it is. But I want to say this specifically for a conversation to black men that might be hearing me right now. If I only had 1 second with you, only 1 minute, I would tell you this one thing. Stop fucking lying. When you stop lying to yourself about what you believe, when you stop lying about what's happening in your family, when you stop lying about what you're doing and why you're doing it, you will be exposed to your true self. And your true self, when you start to look at your true self, I bet 100% you're going to like that view better. You're going to love it. This weekend, I had an opportunity to look right into the eyes of my true self, and I fucking love it, and I want you to see it too. Beautiful message.
Beautiful message as we wrap this episode. You'll be back. We'll have more of Lerrod on our show. Sometime soon we'll hear about your event and what happened. I think it's happening 2 months from now, a month and a half from now. So we'll have you back here in December. And we'll have you back and a bunch of other brothers in the room.
Yeah.
And we're talking about the success, and we make this a point of reference to what is about to come. Thanks for being here, man.
Thanks for having me.